fantastic!
Look just next to the films there, Miss Walker. You should find a film on Baranour.
Baranour, the cursed city. Baranour, the martyred town. Baranour has been nothing but a field of ruins and desolation since a week after the explosion of reactor number 3 in the nuclear power plant. Valsembor is on the other side of the lake, sheltered from the prevailing winds, and fortunately it seems to have been spared from the deadly radioactive clouds. Our town was mobilized to go to the aid of our neighbors. Although our town's means were modest when compared to such a catastrophe, there were nonetheless among us some brilliant mechanical engineers. In record time, they developed a small army of automatons capable of helping the affected people. Those men and dogs of steel could go where a human could no longer set foot without becoming seriously ill. Over there, they could be excavators, rescue workers, and treasure bearers.
These automatons look just like my friend Oscar. I guess people put that statue up in the square in their honor.
Yeah. Truly magnificent pieces, nicht wahr? The XZ-2000 model is most assuredly one of Hans's major masterpieces.
Their mission was to bring back any survivors of the catastrophe to Valsembor, where the victims would receive the best care in Dr. Zemyatine's clinic. The Krystal, the fairy usually responsible for linking the towns of Valsembor and Baranour every day, carried the new type of rescuers to the scene of the drama, and brought back the survivors of the catastrophe.
So Baranour suffered the ravages of a nuclear accident. But according to that film, the automatons you designed with Hans should have helped save lots of lives, right?
I'm afraid that's not how things went. Because of Captain Obo. Ah, that must be Sarah. Please come this way, Miss Walker. I'll introduce you. Miss Walker, may I introduce you to Sarah, my granddaughter?
We've actually already met. Haven't we, Sarah?
I actually owe Miss Walker a candle. Thanks to her calmness and peace of mind, I'm still here and on my feet. She found my medication and gave it to me before it was too late. Donnerwetter.
You don't mean you had another attack, do you? Ah, you're being so very naughty, Grandfather. You absolutely must let Dr. Zemyatine examine you.
Come on, stay calm, my little child. When I go to the clinic to take the prosthesis to the young Youkole, I'll stop by and see the good doctor. Until then, why don't you make yourself really useful to Miss Walker? She's looking for some way to transport the Youkole caravan to the other side of the lake.
Well, I think I've already found the solution. The boat in the film, the Krystal, it must be the ship that's docked in the port. If it was able to transport the automatons you and Hans built, it could carry the ostriches across the lake.
Ah, that's not a bad idea. But unfortunately, there's a slight problem of size, dear Miss Walker.
Sounds like you're talking about Captain Obo's alcoholism. I saw him earlier on the dock.
That coward has been hiding himself in alcohol ever since he abandoned our automatons to Baranour. And he'd rather simply die than go back. He tells everybody that the evil monster of the lake is waiting for him, and that as soon as he goes back on the water, the beast will just up and grab him. Ha 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 ha. But of course, that is the purest fantasy.
Grandfather, I know you're still really angry with Captain Obo because he abandoned the automatons that you built with your friend Hans and Baranour. He was supposed to wait for them. They were going to take all the survivors they found in the rubble to the boat and then bring everyone here to safety in Valsembor. But in the end, when he got to the beach at Baranour and saw the disaster and all the dead, he became really afraid. The disease, the radiation, he must have had an uncontrollable panic attack, so he immediately turned back, dumped the machines on the Krystal into the lake, and came back empty-handed to Valsembor. and the automatons have been there ever since, in hell. But who knows? Maybe today he'll want to sell. I'm sure Kate will be capable of convincing him to help the Youkoles. I have to go do my waitressing shift in the tavern. Come by and see me later on, okay? Captain Obo will be there.
All right then. I'll try and convince Captain Obo. Thank you for everything, Mr. Steiner.
I don't know if I really should wish you good luck, dear Miss Walker. Baranour is only an open grave now.
That shape there in the water, what is it? Captain Obo?
What do you want?
Come on, Captain. Put your bottle away for a second and listen to me. I need to use the Krystal for a crossing. Your ship is big enough to take the entire Youkole caravan. And so I need you to, are you okay, Captain?
Why are you being... My God, why are you being so mean?
Well, because...
So you two, you're going to tell me I'm nothing but a gutless drunk too? Go ahead, I'm used to it.
No. Of course not. Now.
Don't bother. Just leave me the hell alone, little lady.
I don't believe it.
Is everything okay, Kate?
Not really. I'd like to ask Captain Obo if the Youkole caravan can go on board his boat to cross over to Baranour. But I can't get a straight answer. He's completely sloshed.
I'm sorry, miss, but I really think you're wasting your time. He's getting drunk again to forget his crimes, like he always does. To forget he wasn't brave the way a captain should be. Can you believe it? In Baranour, he just picked up and abandoned his passengers. And I know, he'll never want to see that cursed place again.
I'm not sure that's true, lad. Even if he does drink a lot, the captain's a pretty good guy. Say the right thing, and you may be able to convince him.
If I'm ever lucky enough to find him sober, even for a moment, I need that drunkard to listen to me.
Maybe I can help you with that. I'll make him one of my famous small restoratives. After that, he'll want to sleep for 3 days, but at least his mind will be clear.
I'd really appreciate that. Thank you so much, both of you.
Don't mention it. The way the Youkoles are treated here is an absolute disgrace, so if we can help out...
Has Captain Obo taken the Krystal out of port since leaving Baranour?
He's been far too drunk ever since then for that.
And anyway, the port's been closed since the tragedy of Baranour 20 years ago.
Do you think the Krystal is still in sailing condition after all this time?
I'm sure there'll be a few repairs to do, but Obo never stopped keeping it in shape, you know. He loves his boat, despite everything.
Who knows what became of the victims and automatons the captain abandoned?
No, everybody hates the captain for that. But nobody volunteered to take the helm of the Krystal in his place to pick up the survivors. If there are any left in Baranour, they're all dead now, that's for sure.
Grandfather says that the automatons would have broken down really quickly with nobody to maintain them.
Do you know why Captain Obo fled Baranour?
He must have been completely traumatized by what he saw there. The catastrophe, the victims, and then the radiation. He unloaded the automatons on the beach, but he didn't expect they'd bring the survivors back right then. He just cracked, completely snapped. Full astern and goodbye all. Can you even imagine?
Afterwards, he came up with that story of a sea monster appearing and attacking his boat.
Yes, the old legend of the monster of the lake. Convenient, isn't it? Go see the captain. Sarah will bring you the restorative when it's ready.
Take this, Captain. This one's on the house.
My God! This piss water unbattens the hatches, swamps the deck, and opens the portholes. Hello, miss.
My name is Kate Walker, Captain Obo. We met each other earlier.
To what do I owe the honor of your presence at the table of the regrettably famous Captain Obo?
This is good news, Captain. You're back at the starting block again. You have a new beginning, a new dawn.
Haha! Now that's a good show of spirit, Miss Walker. What'll you be having now? It's my round.
I'd rather you listen to me. You're my only hope of finding a solution to my problem.
Do tell me about it, please, miss.
Because the Youkoles and their ostriches are stuck here in Valsembor, it's causing a serious problem among the people in your community. Plus, the nomads have to continue their great journey. Only you, Captain Obo, can defuse the situation by taking them on board the Krystal.
You're very wrong, Miss Walker. Everybody will tell you that I'm incapable of giving a hand to anyone.
I took a look at your logbook, Captain. I read what you wrote when you fled Baranour.
So in that case, you know what I am, right? I'm damned and rotten to the core.
Let me tell you something, Captain. I know that you need to redeem yourself, and I just may be able to help you do that.
How in the hell?
Take the Youkole caravan to Baranour in the Krystal. The migration must go that way.
Baranour, that's impossible. You can't go to there anymore. Never again. Too much happened. Too many died. And also there, in the water, I saw the hellish red eyes of the monster of the lake. Beast as big and long as my boat. Ask your Youkole friends what they think about it. They call it the Kilak, the evil spirit of the lake. The devil guarding the doorway to hell.
Captain, I think it's time for you to clear your head of all these fanciful stories designed to scare people. Everywhere in the world where the water is deep, people have come up with legends designed to keep children safe. Come on, get up, Captain Obo. Show me what you're made of.
Miss Walker, first of all, I have to say that you're an incredibly stubborn woman. I'd even say that you're a real, Anyway, I'll stop there. But I get it.
And what am I to conclude from your appraisals?
All right. You can get your gang of little savages and board the Krystal. I'll take you.
Oh, thank you, Captain, really, with all my heart. And thank you on behalf of the Youkoles.
Oh, but be careful now, Captain Girl. You're not there yet. There are 2 conditions, and they aren't negotiable. First, we stop by Narrodas. It's a little town just a bit south of Baranour. That will mean we avoid the most radioactive zones, but it won't actually take you too far off your path. And second, we also sail by day. I'm not going to finish up on the lake monster's plate. And it sleeps during the day. The beast is usually a bit of a night owl anyway.
I accept, Captain Obo.
In that case, all hands on deck now, sailor, because we've got work to do before we can hoist the anchor.
Come on, Kate. You hurry off and meet with the captain before he changes his mind. I'll go tell Grandfather to join you on board the Krystal with Kirk.
Thank you, Sarah. All right, Captain. How are the preparations going?
There's quite a bit of work to do before we can hoist the anchor, Miss Kate.
Maybe I can help you out with something.
Well, the coal needs to be stocked up. As for myself, I'll look after getting the water tanks ready to be filled. Take this. It's the code you need for entering the hangar where the coal is kept. You actually need it to use the crane to load the coal onto the Krystal. Don't forget to open the storage hatchway first.
I'll take care of that, Captain.
We need to set sail as soon as possible, so better hurry up. Apparently, you did a very good job loading all the coal, Kate. Right. Everything's ready, so we can start filling the water tank. Now we need to connect the water tower to the crystal, then climb up there to manually activate the water flow mechanism.
Let me guess, you're counting on me?
When you're finished, come and see me on board. There's still a lot to do before we're shipshape.